Chad really hooked into this idea of trying to study John Wick through the situations of other characters, and he was really drawn to the good, the bad, and the ugly. So entered the man, the myth, the legend, Donnie Yen as Kane. Such an honor to work with him, and he's such a special person. It's been cool to get to be on the floor with him and to act with him. What he's doing with the character Kane is very special, fun.
We always lamented that we didn't have an antagonist that was better than John. What's really interesting about Kane, it's by far the biggest role we've had other than John throughout the 4 films. In terms of screen time, in terms of arc, but we wanted somebody who we, the audience, felt John's not going to be this guy. And there aren't a lot of people in the world that can do that.
You know, I believe in fate, destiny, right? That's what happened to many of my previous movies. Some of them became decently successful, all out of unexpected circumstances and timing, right? So actually, me and the producer, Basil, we are developing this project.
As soon as I called him, I said, in theory, are you interested in John Wick? He's like, yes.
Out of nowhere, right? He said, oh, you know, Donnie, would you like to be in it? I said, well, it depends, right? Depends on the role and the script. And just got on the phone and spoke to Chad, and they really made me felt comfortable and felt I think I can do something with this new character in their universe. And it was just an ongoing process. It was back and forth for a couple of weeks. And I was convinced, and I said, all right, you know, I'll do it. You know, I trust you, you know. So got on a plane and went to Germany.
Oh my God, Donnie Yen's interested in being in a John Wick film. My version was more like Zatoichi, you blind, stumbling masseuse guy, that kind of guy. You know, and after my first creative talk with Donnie, it was like, oh, I don't want to play him like that. I want to be way cooler.
When I'm back home, when I'm with my most comfortable environment with my colleagues, Asian filmmakers, right? They don't understand me as much as Chad does. And that's a compliment to him. And I told him that. Because I said, you know, it's very interesting that you understand where I'm coming from. And I understand where he's coming from.
He wanted to be inspiring. He wanted to be positive. He didn't want to be the stereotypical blind swordsman as it's been played in the past.
Actually, I was kind of against that in the beginning. When he said, oh, he's blind. That was before I went to Berlin, right? I said, I've done that in Rogue One, in Star Wars, right? I played the blind man before, you know? Do you really want to go there? How am I going to react, right? How am I going to bring what I wanted to achieve, that full, complex character? It's challenging. I'm still finding some...
And Donnie came at it very hard. Like, look, man, for myself, I got to do something different. I want to add, like, I want to go to the extremes in this. Like, I can play it like this tripping blind guy, or I can just be assumed that I'm so fucking good that I have to do that. I'm like, okay, let's start with that. Let's start with, we're not going to do the traditional blind guys. We're not going to do the tappy, all this stuff. Yeah. Then you're like, do a little, you can do your hearing thing, and then it's like, should have stayed out, try to find it.
This is John Wick. We need to create John Wick work, and he has to be a very skilled martial artist assassin. He sent me some pictures. What do you think? How does he picture this Kane? And I told him, well, I see him stylish. Steve McQueen, Bruce Lee. And I said, remember Bruce Lee during the black and white interview with the skinny tie and the black suit and everything?
Just give you a little Bruce Lee-ish here, a little Enter the Dragon.
No, he dresses well, you know, he expresses himself, you know, he doesn't take any shit, you know, he curses, you know. That's another thing. I said, look, why can't he curse? You know, he got a temper. You know?
Come on, John.
Come on, John. I'm a fucking blind man, man. Come on, get out here. Let's end this.
Well, either way, I think it's a good chance for him to stop.
Let's get this over with. Let's get this shit over with. Let's get my fucking gun shit.
And at the end, we just both created this character together.
That kind of changed just from a Zatoichi replica to a whole new character that went well beyond anything I had planned. So, like, thank you, Donnie.
John, how are you?
You knew I'd be here.
I suspected it. We started to settle in a bit of what this character is about. Then the action came.
He's the one starting it off going, okay, so how do we do this? Because, like, I can do wuja, and he'll fling the sword, like, really fast, and if I was blind, I'd have to flurry more and keep people at bay.
You know, he's blind, but then he's very skillful. But then I'm trying to bring him down where he's not a Marvel character. He's human, you know. He eat a bowl of noodles, you know. He's hungry, you know. He get tired. He get beat up, you know.
And just through conversation, we kind of came up with the way we wanted to move.
When people look at my films, it's like, how did you do that? It's like the musicians, it's like jazz. How do I explain to you why am I playing this notes, this passage? Because it's my feeling. In my case, you gotta be a well-trained, not only as a martial artist, but as an action actor. So my body just kind of turns on.
Here's a funny story. So they do all this choreography. Donnie Yen's flying over, so I'm learning with Koji choreography and a fight scene with the swords. Well, Donnie, you know, he's a jazz artist. So he comes out and just starts. My character would do this, and I was supposed to do this block and then come in and then disengage. And I literally went, fuck that, right? Because he's just going. He's like super fast. And I was like, to Chad, I'm like, we can't do the choreography. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm gonna block and then come at him and then come with a pistol and he's gonna knock. And I'm like, Donnie. He's like, I know. I'm like, it's not gonna. So we just made it up.
It makes more sense. It's like, instead of blocking, you shoot and I shoot. It's like I shoot. It looks very childish. Yeah, that's more real, you know? Yeah, you push. Yeah, it's more real. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's just more raw.
So basically, he comes flying out. I just call it bees. Like John just retreats, and he's like trying to fire, and then like blades, and it was cool. It was just a kind of like organic character moment.
Donnie will always have Donnie input, and if you over-prepare for what you think Donnie should look like, he's always gonna flip it on his back because Donnie's an artist. A lot of the stunt guys are like, if you haven't worked with Donnie before, be ready. And some of the stunt guys weren't ready, but I think that helps us too because it made a lot of natural reactions.
When Donnie and Sanada-san, they have a fight to the death. It was amazing to watch Donnie and Hiroyuki work that out. Because they are both no joke. They are no joke.
With Donnie, it's my very first time working with him, but we share the same friends like Jackie or the stunt guys. Also, watching his movies. So those kind of things make me feel, no, it's not the first time, right? So feel like long friend.
I'm gonna put you at 32 frames, you're gonna look great.
So maybe we can use that chemistry into the movie. So I'm really enjoying working with him.
You did it, hero, you did it!
Making a good film, right, or being partners with your fellow actors, right, you gotta have that kind of trust and relationship, invested in that relationship in order to bring the best out of each other. That's how I feel with Chad, even though this is my first time working with him, but there's certain trust and understanding. My favorite thing, just being around with good people. Being around with good people, having laughters, and they allow me to be creative, which I love, because I like to create if you allow me to. I'm having fun, you know, like a kid in a candy store. I like to think and hope that I have a bit of contribution to the John Wick franchise. That's new and very refreshing. I hope this will be as successful, if not more, as the last three.